Okay. The second part is how to use uh, Java output streams when working with text. See, you either writing or reading text, writing to a file or reading. To write text, Java has an abstract class called writer. To read text, Java has an abstract class called reader. Both of them, reader and writer, they have so many subclasses for different implementations. Tamam? Good. So one of them is FileWriter. It's a subclass of writer. There are so many writers. One of them is a formatter. We'll see this later. FileWriter, see, على طول, very easy. Writer, a new FileWriter, output txt. This is a string. You can write a string. You can write character. You can write so many things. I cannot list them all, but you can just type w dot and see what write methods and how the method is overloaded in how many ways. So this way you will write this string to the output file. Let me go here, FileWriter demo. Okay, this is a formatter in it. No format, I don't want this example. Let me go to a simple example. Writer example. This is straightforward. Look at this one, writer, new FileWriter. And the file is in folder D. I talked to about this on the class. If you are a Mac user, you use /, right? With Windows, you need 2 backslashes because one of them is escape character. Now I have a string. Okay, this is the string. I can just write it directly. Tamam? I can write another string directly. I can write 77. 77 here will be text, will be the ASCII value of one character. I can close it. So writer, new FileWriter, and try IO exception, and that's it. Let me just output this. What's the file name now? Out txt. In which folder? D. This is D. I have txt. This is the file, as you see. March 31st, 719. This is the data in the file. Does that make sense?
Doctor, 77
Yes.
is what exactly?
Character
77.
capital M.
Okay.
If you make it 65, I believe you all know 65.
A.
65 is capital A. If I run it again and open the file now, capital A. Let me keep the file open. I'll keep the file open, ya shabab. Allahu Akbar. Try to run. Okay, it worked. If I close it, خلينا نشوف هلا. 720. تمام. Sometimes, depending on so many things, if the file is open or someone else is using the file, you will get some kind of an exception, IO exception.
Doctor,
Okay? Yes.
so you did use the star after IO, and the star is like
Where is the star?
refers to all of the what is inside the package and the import.
Yeah, I just want to make it simple. Star means everything in the IO package.
Okay, nice.
Star means everything. Okay? This is not a professional way, but sometimes we are in a hurry. We need to just import everything. Right, because all the classes I'm used are part of the A. Now, how to read this data from this file? You see the file, ya shabab. To read the data, you need FileReader. Read file example. Okay? هلا read file. Reader example here. Reader, a new FileReader. Now FileReader will read one character at a time. Will read one character at a time. How you keep reading to the end? You remember when we worked with objects, we said while read objects is not equal to null. Now what you do here, you know, it's going to be character. What is inside the file is a character. So the ASCII value of any character or the Unicode value of any character is an integer, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, good. So you see, for example, while integer data is equal, reader to read is not equal to -1. You will get -1 when you reach the end of the file. When you reach the end of the file, you will get -1. So here, system out, I'm casting it because otherwise it will be showing me the Unicode value of the character, not the character itself. Then you read the next one. You come back, one character at a time. Then you say reader.close. Let me run this. You see, ya shabab, I'm opening this file. I'm reading it one character at a time.
Okay,
You can,
doctor. So
if you don't
-1
cast it, if you don't cast it, you get the text values of those things.
So, doctor, -1 is in FileReader and null is in object.
Objects use what? Yeah, objects use null.
Okay.
But with FileReader, you get -1 when you reach the end of the file. Tamam? Because sometimes you don't know how many things are available in the file. You just need to go to the loop until you reach the end of the file. If you are using FileReader, you are looking for -1. Does that make sense, ya shabab?
Yes, yes.
Right. Good.
Doctor, can you repeat line number 7?
Line number 7. When you read data from character files, you get the Unicode value of the character, right?
Right, yes.
Yeah, the Unicode for a character of the high is an integer, right?
Yes. Oh.
Okay. So, خلاص, that's it. Did I answer your question?
Yes, Doctor, yes.
Tamam. Excellent. Fine. So I showed you how to write text and read text, but this is not all about it. This is not all about it. Let's go back to the slides and see what else we have. This is FileWriter, the same thing, same example I showed you. Tamam? And FileReader, same thing. This is the same one I did. Same loop you will see all the time. And you need to remember -1 when you reach the end. Okay? So it's going to be read dot is not equal to -1. You need to cast it because otherwise you're going to get the Unicode value. Right. Now, I will skip this and go to a formatter. Sometimes your output, in your output, you need to format the output. You know what I say by output? Format is exactly you do what we did with the string.format. You remember that? And printf.
Same as string format?
Yes, and printf also.
Yes,
It's the same thing, printf. Yes. So here, formatter is a text or character. So here, you say what? New formatter. يعني formatter is equal to new formatter. Does that make sense? يعني you say out1 formatter. It's one of those like FileWriter, but there is a formatter now. Formatter is a nice thing. يعني here you can do. Let me see if I have a formatter here quickly. Formatter demo. I want to make one that is very simple. Okay, I'll add it to my code here. A new class format demo. Okay, I'll just make one simple. I'll go back to the formatter demo. This is a bit complicated. I'll just output something يعني in it. Good. Formatter demo. Okay, let us import. They did that. I don't need a scanner now. I'm only sending output. Try. FileWriter, new FileWriter. Then the formatter is based on the FileWriter. And by the way, you can do it without it. يعني you can do it with directly. يعني you can say formatter a new file like this. Only this. Out is equal to new formatter. This is the file. And I'll call it format file. Format txt. Does that make sense? Look at this, ya shabab. Now, how did you printf and all these things? Do you remember how?
Format.
Out, see, dot. Yalla, look at the
Format.
format. طيب ها percent s what percent s percent d whatever output you want to do percent s for example then percent t or I can make a for loop شو رايكم اعمل for loop افرجيكم النمبرز does that make sense yeah anything you know anything you did with the format let me make this percent s capital S okay capital S then I do what comma I'll put Java small so what will be sent to the file now
Java.
but Java formatted now yes or no yes or
Yes,
no
capital
yes.
yes.
percent n كمان you get my point now I'll do percent dot 2f and this is my value what will be sent to the formatter I think I answered your question now is it clear so
Yes.
if your things are formatted you can
What
use a
about
formatter
What about the true and
anything
false?
anything you learned using the printf or format is doable here use a formatter and send any formatted text to the data let me just run this and make sure the file is going to work and no errors okay I don't see any errors but let us refresh now format txt is this exactly what I did يا شباب
Yes.
تمام so whenever you need something to be formatted not plain text you use what formatter وسي على طول جاهزة يعني formatter a new file based on a file that's it
This is another way. يعني.
this is another only for formatted text
Okay. But
Okay.
what about the true and false?
where we are outputting here no true and false when you stop you finish in this example we are outputting يعني we are closing the file only when we finish we close the file we
Because
are
I saw like after the txt, comma, false or true. I
this
think
is
you
here يعني
ايه
oh good question يعني مش راح اتهرب منه انا بس
أنا ما أعرف.
فايل رايتر هذا صح دكتور؟
لا no هو في append
ايوه بس
في
الفايل رايتر كلاس يعني نيو فايل رايتر مش
هو
فايل.
if formatter is a subclass of it the constructor will be inherited
اوكي
okay see what I answered you on a general question right so one of them is true false I'm not sure about this formatter class because there are so many constructors true false when working with files it means if you want to append
Doctor, you make comma true beside
Yeah, I
the
know.
file.
yeah
Okay.
okay here inside where here
okay. If I need to replace
Yes,
like
here, comma true.
okay true
Yeah.
and لا مش هون هي
يعني
دكتور هي هون بس تكون فايل رايتر.
اقبل apostrophe.
Oh, لا
problem.
beside
No
the
problem.
file, beside
maybe
the
we'll
file.
see it next week I
Beside
have
the
so many
quotations.
يا شباب next week I have so many other let us now focus on the basics يا شباب okay if you need it يعني urgent I would have made it in this tutorial يعني I'll be available with many tutorials next time but now what I want you to know now is formatter when or text is output as a formatted text anything we did with string format you can do here any question on formatter this is not actually where we want to go okay now reading text when I showed you a reader 5 minutes ago we were reading what character by character is this useful
نو
طيب the best way is to use when you use text is to use a scanner the same scanner we know you know the scanner right what you could do with the scanner read what word read double read integer read byte read boolean right
يس
oh now you'll find that okay when reading a file يعني definitely I'm gonna use a scanner طيب how to use a scanner very simple let me show you an example and I will be scanner demo. لا مش هذا. Okay. Let's do. This is one scanner demo. This is how we do it. A new scanner and give it a new file. Now, you know how we're gonna read this. While in has next. Let me make a demo here. I'll rename this to refactor. Rename scan demo simple. Trying to put all types of code available to you here. Finish. Okay. في شيء تاني هون. طيب. Look at this now. It has a main method. تمام. Good. So this is our scan demo. It will go to a file, any file. Tell me which file you want. I will go to this out. لا. txt. شايفينه? Do you see this txt? Okay. Scan demo simple. Okay. Then I can say one scanner here. I'll call it scan. طيب. Try. Scan is equal to new scanner text txt. تمام؟ هلا ايش اللي what I'm gonna do now? While keep reading until you reach the end. طيب what to do now? شوفوا يا شباب. While scan has next or has next line, okay, print scan.next line. يعني is gonna read one line at a time. And when you reach that no more lines, this will be false. يعني it will read what at a time here? You are reading not one character at a time. You are reading what? طيب. Let us see. I made a mistake somewhere. Where?
يمكن next line ولا لا في هني شو اسمه.
Here system fine. The output stream is already open. Fine.
دكتور لاين 6 انت مش حاط سيمي كولون.
When line 6? Yeah, when I change the name. Yeah. Okay, save. ايش هاي ما هلا هون بقول هذا انا مش برنت الان
دكتور شوف المين فانكشن وين.
دكتور المين اللي تحت المشكلة unresolved compilation. حتى في الاكسبشن مكتوب at scan demo line 21
21 فيها اكثر من
اللي هو كان المين فانكشن. هي كانت المشكلة يعني.
Okay, here I need one more بس.
اي دوت جيت مسج اتوقع ولا شلون؟ عند الكات.
I needed because I used the loop inside. Okay. I'm reading now the file line by line. But is it the only way I told you how to use a scanner in Java? What about next, يا شباب? It's gonna read what?
Only the first word in each.
No. One word at a time. One thing at a time, not one line. Now look at the output and you're gonna understand it. You see the output now. So what I am reading here now?
But next was
One word at a time. صح ولا لا? Right. So did you get it now when I made it scan simple? So just use a scanner. I'll show you next in the next example how to do things that are different يعني. I will show you how this file, you see it? Nums. You see this file يا شباب? What types of values are there? Doubles? طيب. I want you to read all of them and find their sum and average.
نفس الشيء نحط عايز next double ولا.
Thank you sir. طيب. Okay. Read file scan total. You see this? Okay. في عندي example تاني في integers. وينه? Here. Integers. You see it? These are all integers, right?
Yes.
تمام. So let me save this now. Yes. So I have this one. Scanner, new scanner on the file. Yalla. While scan has next. Double value is equal to scan integer. ليش انا عامله double ما بعرف. كان الاكزامبل double. Integer value scan next integer next integer next integer until you reach the end of the file. Yes, you get that يا شباب.
Yes.
So total will be what? Total plus equal what? Value. Count plus plus. Total equal value. Count plus plus. You get that? So at the end, I'll get the total and how many values are in the file. Does that make sense, يا شباب? Okay. So see the output. Count of values 26. Total is that much. But I'll go back to this. I'll go back to the same file. I'll copy paste more values in it. I'm copy pasting so many new values. I'm saving it. So now when I read the file, it will read the latest version of the file, of course. So you have 86 values and their total is that much. Does that make sense يا شباب? So has next يا اللي سألني قبل شوي minus 1 وهديك null. When you use a scanner, you're gonna use has next. Maybe has next integer, has next line, but has next is very general, right? When there is a space between any two things. Does that make sense? طيب. What if you have different types of values in the file? Look at this يا شباب. What's this?
String with.
No. This is an employee. This is employee ID, name, salary.
Construct.
I want this text file. Remember, the first time I did it, it was what? It was objects already. Now I want to read this one. This will be the ID of the first employee. This will be the sum name. This will be the salary. I will use a scanner.
Initialize it to a variable.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Which one allows me to read integers or text or characters or doubles or boolean? Only the scanner.
Yes.
Right? So I'll close this now. First column is what? Integer, then string, then double. These are all employees. You know what the employee class is. صح ولا لا يا شباب? Right? In
Yeah.
ID, name and salary. طيب. I will just go here. I need to copy this because yesterday I made a huge change in the middle and read emps text. You know the names now, huh? Simple. Okay. I will read the employees files text simple. طيب. I will go here, read temp text, read emps from text. I will read all the employees, but from a text file now. I will read all the employees, but from a text file. Please pay attention to the details. تمام يا شباب? Please pay attention to the details. I have an array list of employees because at the end I want to make them. Scanner, new file, ايش اسم الفايل? Employees list. Very important because I have two files. You will understand when I say I have two files. Why two files? I'll rename the file refactor rename. اوكي. لا مش هذا خلاص اوكي بدي ارجع لنفس هلا here I want to read one by one. Yes or no? You agree with while scan has next? This is list, right? What is the first thing يا شباب?
Create
will be
object.
The ID صح? Integer ID is equal to what? Scan dot read.
Integer.
Read what?
Integer.
Okay, scan dot read int. Next int, sorry. Then string name is equal to scan dot next what? That's next. هلا يا شباب please pay attention اللي بيفتحوا المايك sometimes في a lot of noise. Okay, a lot of noise يعني لو انك طاير ببوينج وفاتح الشبابيك ما بيطلع هيك نويز. اوكي طيب What's the last thing? Double what? Salary, right? Equals what? Scan dot next double. Did I get the first employees data here? Does that make sense now? I read this in the ID, this in the name, and this in the double. طيب. Are you ready with the first employee now? Are you ready with the first employee? Yes, we are. So what are you gonna do now? Oh, I need to
Create an employee object,
maybe. طيب. Where to add the new employee object to the list? صح ولا لا? Right?
Yep.
I can say emps.add new employee ID name and salary. Does that make sense now? It will read
Yes,
one by one. Okay. And now you are getting them from text. And I showed you how to do that. And finally, I'll print it here, the employee list.
دكتور
Let us
اسم
see.
الفايل لازم يبدأ بإي كابيتال.
هو اسمه هيك. هو الفايل نيم مش مهم على فكرة، بس انه في شيء غلط تاني. Employees list. Let me see what was the error. ايش هون عنا؟ what does it say? Unresolved compilation error
ممكن
معناه
في البراكتس تحت.
yes here. Okay معناته زيادة. Did I get all the employees now? You see that?
دكتور
يعني
نقدر كمان معهم فور ايتش صح؟ لو
واو.
بدنا عشان يطلع شكله أحسن.
خفت منك بس دخلت علي فكرت في for employee. اوكي اي هيك بدك يا صديقي؟ امس sys out e. Is that what you want?
Yes.
These are our what? Employees. Does that make sense? طيب I want the total of their salaries. يلا قولوا لي what to do. Double total equals 0 and total plus equal salary. خلصنا صح؟ Right?
في الدكتور في الديكلاريشن بس هاي كانت حاجة غلط.
مش مشكلة، مش بيننا هاي الشغل.
Okay.
Concept, is it clear?
مش
Now,
هنعملها.
yeah,
Okay.
I
Yes,
know
clear.
all the total, okay? Sys
Yeah,
out,
okay.
sys out total salaries, okay, is equal to plus total. Let us run this and make sure we are doing it right. I think total salaries is here. I can tell you how many employees from the size. I can get the largest salary, smallest salary, and all. You know how to do these things, maybe. You know. But you know how to read one by one depending on the type.
Doctor, this time
Yes.
we use the file class, right? It's in general.
Yeah, file class is a simple class. It's available in the file.io. Whenever you need to open a file directly, you don't need file output stream and file input stream. خلاص, new file بس. Okay, especially when you use an wrapper class like scanner, formatter, reader, and these things. على طول. Okay? طيب. Any question on this one? Any question? طيب. يا شباب, look at the file here, employee list. Look at the file, please, employee list. Each of them is separated by space. So has next will go here. ID, next, Sarah, next. That's very important to know that.
Separated.
If this has a name, okay? If this has a name that is more than one word, which is usually the case, this is not gonna work. And the code I showed you, it's gonna work when all the values are separated by space. When there is no space in the middle.
Dash يعني.
Let me show you. If there is a space in the middle, this is not gonna work. لأنه ممكن maybe your name your name here is not Sarah. Sarah Hassan عادي. فايش راح يعمل هو؟ What's gonna happen? It's gonna read Sarah
إيه.
and Hassan as a salary. And no. طيب, can I tell it read line? No, you cannot say read line because it's gonna read also the salary with it. So do you know what happens? I mean الحكى separator. Do you know what they do usually? What
Yeah.
they do usually يا
بايثون
شباب.
في كوما او كده يعني بتعمل separate.
Yes, what they do usually, but it needs some extra effort. Let me show you a new file. I'm adding a new file. I'll call it emps text. emps separate. احنا بنسميها delimiter. delimit. emps delimit.txt. هلا بتفهموا ايش قصدي. You see these things? You can separate them by bar or by comma. مش لازم يكون في بينهم spaces. Look. Comma. Then comma. Okay. Then comma. Oh, Ali, Khalid, Ali, Muhammad, Khalid. No problem. Now, the thing between the commas is next. يعني سواء one word أو 10 words. Okay. Either one word or 10 words, you can read it in one has next. بس استنوا شوي. Very important. The scanner does not know this. You need to tell the scanner that the things in this file are separated by what?
Commas.
By commas. Otherwise, the scanner will consider what?
Space.
The space. What do we call this? This is called delimiter. You can change the delimiter. بس يعني you cannot work.
يعني
Not
there's a
work.
function called delimiter.
لا هلا بنقول يعني you cannot work. You cannot work on this file if you don't know how things are delimited. You see the file now? I'll just change it now.
So
See
you
now?
can have comma and then new line maybe or no?
Yeah, no problem. This is not a problem.
Okay.
Now, the delimiter must be known to the scanner. If the scanner, you don't configure the scanner, it will consider space. When scanner demo simple, here you see it. شوفوا يا شباب here. Before I start, I'll sys out scan dot delimiter. Now the scanner will tell me what's the delimiter. here أول شيء وين راحت؟ واو. Here. Paragraph white spaces. Does that make sense? White spaces عارفين شو يعني white spaces تمام؟
Set delimiter.
يعني اوكي. Use delimiter اسمها. طيب now أنا I will go to the scanner read employees from text. Here. I need to read them one by one. ايش سميت الداتا انا new؟ emps delimit صح؟ ركزوا معي يا شباب. emps delimit. Oh.
دكتور بدون
Before I
الاس.
start using the scanner, I tell the scanner what? Use what?
Delimiter. Comma.
Which is what?
Comma.
And the data must be right to طيب. هلا when you use delimiter, you are using only has next. Has next يا شباب reads a string, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, you cannot say next integer or next has next. طيب, if it reads a string, you all know how to parse it back into an integer, right? يعني for name, no need to do anything. Next. So next now will read from the comma to the comma, whether you have one word or 1,000 words. Because now the delimiter between two things is the comma. Let me run this. Hopefully it works.
دكتور اسم الفايل نيم.
emp
شيل الاس بس.
emp اسمه yeah run. Does that make sense يا شباب? You see this now? سارة حسن علي ما عندنا مشكلة. محمد علي خالد ما عندنا مشكلة لأنه احنا we are using what? Delimiter. يعني if you decide or your code uses another delimiter, like vertical bar. ممكن مر عليكم في السي بلس بلس هذا الحكي، بس عايزين تستعبطوا.
طب لا يا دكتور ما شفناهمش خالص للاسف
آه.
يعني. ولا حتى اخذنا البوينترز يا دكتور.
يا لا البوينترز مش مشكله يعني.
طب دكتور اخر كومه خالص مهمه.
بس انت تبع النل نفسك.
آه.
شلت الاخر كوما صح انا؟
طب كمان سؤال، ينفع اعمل
بعرف اللي
سبيس
بركزوا
يعني
هيك
اعملهم
بس
في
ليه
نيو لاين؟
بعرف. ها
طب ينفع احطهم في نيو لاينز بالكوماس برضو ولا لا؟
ينفع بس بدها شوي ترتيب، بس انا هلا راح اعطيك ستيتمنت.
اوكي
هو بالاخير يا شباب at the production level no one is gonna use data like this يعني in reality. لانه هلا recently this is not the way we handle files with Java. You have
جيسون.
JSON, you have XML, you have so many ways. تمام؟ I can يعني I'm not sure in your projects you need this. in my projects they are all object serialization. And however now I changed the delimiter. Let me just go back to the ايش كان اسمه example. Read emps from text. Now I changed the delimiter. I just need to make it bar here. Read. Okay. في عندي غلط مش عارف وين. Let me see this. هلا كان بيسألني هو أنا شوفوا لي وين في غلط. في spaces between them أو في
اتوقع انك
أماكن.
لازم تحط اخر بار ولا ما له خص.
هلا أنا ما رضيت أجاوبه صح. هلا أنا ما حطيت آخر واحد ما حطيت له بار. طيب هلا حطيت له بار وعملت سيف. طيب اوكي وين هو كانت from text good run لسه شغال. طيب ما عندي معناته في شيء ثاني صح. let us save everything make sure you save. خلينا نرجع لامس ذا ليميت الا في غلط بين تنتين فيهم. 4500 علي خالد 700 1900 ناصر 3 جميلة ما اوكي في تنتين هون ولا واحدة اخر شيء انا مش شايف والله
لا
وين
دكتور
الغلط.
كله مزبوط واحدة.
I don't see an error يعني. ها
لا
is there any error any extra space between them here between جميلة and no I don't see it.
لا
طيب it should work هو يعني you can change the delimiter as much as you need but يعني let us see this يعني إذا ما
دكتور،
اشتغلت
في الاوتبوت تقارئ ID equals to 3 و 4 اللي هم اول ثلاث ارقام في الفايل. هو الديليمتر عادي يكون اصلا بار؟ المفروض عادي صح؟
يا ممكن أنت بتحدد شو هو الديليمتر for input string. ليش أنا ما ضبط معي استنى شوي شو يمكن بده شيء ثاني زيادة ناقص. شوفوا راح ارجعه انا ل كوماز. طيب I don't want this to disturb my يعني هلا رجعته لكوماز انا ونعمل رن ونشوف بيعمل رن ما اشتغل.
غير الديليمتر يا دكتور.
غير
غير
لاين
الديليمتر.
15.
طيب غير الديليمتر سيف اول ورن اشتغل ماشي. اللي سألني عن اخر كما جاوبت على سؤالك هلا ولا لا؟
ايه يا دكتور.
هو اصلا راح يعطي هاز نيكست يعني هاي. بس يا شباب this is not the end of the world يعني this is not the top technology. You need to know how to read text files but when you store data this is not how we store data really in using text files. So now I showed you how to use reader and writer. I showed you how to read data from text files into objects, how to read data, how to write data formatted, how to read data also from text files using delimiter, and how to read integers and those things and to make mathematical calculations when we did the total and sum and average. Does that make sense يا شباب? These are the text parts, the things that يعني I want to